Most guys preparing for Special Forces selection are focused on the wrong things. They're obsessed with hitting a specific number on their deadlift. They're just stacking a running plan on top of a bodybuilding plan or listening to what their favorite hybrid athlete tells them to do on Instagram. But the truth is, they do not care about how much you could bench press or even what your max deadlift PR is at selection. The only things they care about and the only things they're going to be grading you on is how well you perform in the few tasks required of you in this environment. And in this video, we're going to break down exactly what those exercises and tasks are and how we use our strength training to support them, not distract from them. So first off, how is SFAS structured? SFAS is broken down into 3 different phases: gait week, land navigation, and team week. During gait week, you're going to start out with an initial PT test. This PT test is going to consist of T push-ups, pull-ups, a plank, and a 2-mile run. So right off the bat, if we cannot perform in those specific exercises, we will never get to the other events. After that, we're going to complete a series of runs and rucks. We're going to have 2 runs, one long, one short, both unknown distance and going to be through the trails in North Carolina, which can be pretty sandy. Those distances are unknown, but the short is usually around 4 miles and the long runs usually around 6 to 7 miles. Same thing with rucks, one long, one short. The short one's usually around 6 to 8 miles. The long ruck is usually around 12 miles. After this, you're going to face off with the Nasty Nick obstacle course. For the obstacle course, you have to be able to climb a rope. This is primarily technique. So whether you're using the S wrap or the J hook, make sure your technique is sound and you're not smoking your arms out from climbing the rope on the various obstacles you're going to have to do out at Nasty Nick. After Nasty Nick, you're going to complete what is called a CRA, or Combat Readiness Assessment. It's basically a round robin, kind of the only event at selection that is a lot more work capacity oriented. You're going to be carrying ammo cans above the waist in a front rack carry position, and you're going to be flipping tires. And the big event at the CRA is the casualty carry. You're going to have to lift a 200-pound sandbag or simulated dummy on your shoulders and move with it for a designated distance. If you cannot get that, so if you cannot get that weight up on your shoulders, you fail the course automatically. This is a go or no go event. After this, rucking is key. You're going to go out to land navigation, where you spend a week doing day and night practical exercises, then face off with the STAR course for 2 days, 10 hours per day, and carrying upwards of 65, 70 pounds in your ruck, moving over that varied terrain. After land navigation, you come back, and that's when you go into team week, which is by far the most challenging portion of the course. During team week, you're going to be moving with your individual equipment, with an apparatus or something that your team is moving for a designated distance through the trails of North Carolina. With this, it's absolutely critical that we not only have the strength to carry the weight on our back, but we also have the strength to be competitive with the low carries. The low carries are going to be kind of like a suitcase carry, so they're really going to challenge your grip strength, and at some point you will absolutely reach muscle failure inside of team week with the low carries. But if you are the one on your team reaching muscle failure prior to the other guys, you're going to be highlighted and spotlighted as a weak link on your team, and that's really going to hurt your chances of being selected. After team week, you complete what is called the trek, which is an unknown distance ruck, usually between 26 and 30 miles, and that is with that 45 pounds dry that you use throughout the course. So that is all of the exercises that you have to do at selection. Notice how I didn't say you have to do a deadlift PR or you have to hit a certain number on your bench press or overhead press. The only exercises that you have to be able to complete are the ones that I just listed that you're going to face off with inside of selection. Now, does this mean that we only train those exercises during preparing for this environment? No, absolutely not. We still lift weights and train in some essential movement patterns, which I'm going to hit. And the reason for this is because if we were to only do these exercises, we would start creating imbalances and weaknesses in our glutes, especially if you're a quad dominant guy. And that would lead to breakdowns and injuries down the road, or have a break in our chain, which will hurt our performance and our strength and our durability in this environment overall. So we absolutely want to lift, but I want to change the way you think about lifting and strength training for Special Forces assessment and selection. We are not going out there chasing big PRs and chasing big lifts thinking that that is going to be the deciding factor as to whether or not you're going to be successful. We are doing it to support our performance in these specific tasks and exercises that we know we're going to have to be able to complete. So the way we structure our strength training is based off of essential movement patterns: squat, hinge, vertical and horizontal press, vertical and horizontal pull, single leg movements, and carries. Now, within these movement patterns, there are a plethora of different exercises to do. And the biggest mistake I see guys make when they're strength training for selection is getting married to a specific movement, thinking that they have to hit a specific number on their straight bar deadlift or their barbell back squat. That's not the case. If for some reason the barbell back squat, for example, is not accessible to you or not comfortable or causes issues, or you lack the mobility to do it, there are other movements inside of that squat movement pattern that we can use to build up that strength, such as front squat, hack squat, Zercher squat, goblet squat, etc. As long as we can gradually increase that load and impose the rule of progressive overload, which just means gradually increasing the stress that we're placing on our system, we will effectively build the strength required to perform in that environment. So whenever we are strength training for selection, I want you to keep in the back of your mind the why behind what we're doing. And this means that we're never compromising form to chase a big number, because the number is arbitrary. The stimulus is what we're after. And as long as we can perform in the tasks listed in this video, or the tasks that we know we're going to have to face off with at selection, we are going to have the fitness and the durability and the performance required to be successful in this environment. Now, we have helped dozens of individuals go to special forces selection and other various selections inside of special operations and be successful utilizing this methodology. If you want to learn about our program, which includes a custom training plan, nutrition, check-ins, mentorship, etc., click the link down in the description. Otherwise, I appreciate you watching. Keep training smart and remember what matters.